Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Glad to see you here. Hope everyone is doing well. This morning I have a video on baking. We're going to bake some chocolate pound cake today. We'll go through the whole series of ingredients and into the bread maker, and we'll come back and see how the finished product comes out. I hope you will enjoy this. And before we get into the video, I wanted to show you something that I had mentioned the other day in one of the videos. I think it was on a food haul, talking about ground coffee and K-cups and so forth for the Keurig, how I was going to do ground coffee from now on. Not all the time, but mostly. And I mentioned this again. I still don't know what they call it, but this is what it is. You can buy them separately, or sometimes, depending on your Keurig, it comes with it. But this is the actual K-cup, I guess you would say. And then you have this mesh filter. You put your coffee in there, you put this cover on, which has a hole in it, so that when it sets into your Keurig, that's the hole that it punches into, and the coffee comes out, and you have 1 cup of coffee. I just wanted to show that to you because I know it was a bit vague in explaining what it was. So I thought I'd take a moment and show you that. So it just comes off. Pull this out, dump out the grinds, wash it out, and you're ready to go for another cup. So I will be starting to do this. I'm going to set it up for tonight for tomorrow morning's coffee to be all set. Because when I get up in the morning, I'm not in any condition to be filling this up. Sad to say, but that's the way it is. I don't really get going until I have the actual cup of coffee. I know many people say they're the same way. But anyways, I just wanted to show that to you. Okay, let's get into the actual making of our chocolate pound cake. Okay, I hope I judged this right. I'm going to try to make it all right in this pot right here, and I have my ingredients list over here. For this, you pre-mix all the ingredients and then put it into the bread maker. So the first ingredient here is, let's see here, 1 1/4 cups, and I knew I'd do that. I did. Hold on a second. I forgot to bring my cup measurer in here. Thought I had everything, but I'll be right back. Just a second. Okay, here we are. Came back with a cup measure. So the first ingredient is going to be 1 1/4 cups of milk. I didn't have anything but almond milk on hand except for the shelf stable. So I'm going to use this for today. It doesn't make any difference. It's milk, 100% or whole milk I'm using for this. All right, so it takes 1 1/4 cups of, let's see, 1 1/4 cups of milk. You know, I have never tried this as a, like say, one that you could bake in a bread pan. I'm Not sure how that would come out with. Probably someday I'm going to try that just for the heck of it. But for today, we'll do the way I usually do. So I've got the milk put in there. And then we're going to put 3 cups of soft margarine. You can do as you would wish, but I don't like to use margarine myself. So I put together some milk, and I know it says soften, but I end up getting it rather melted. Some of it soft and melted. So I'm putting that in there. That being the next thing. And again, another thing I've forgotten. Gosh, and I thought I did so good getting everything arranged. But now I've gone and forgotten my eggs. So again, I gotta leave you a minute, if that. Excuse all the interruptions. Hopefully that's the last one. So here's my eggs, and it requires 2 whole large eggs, which I have in here. Hopefully we'll get out without dropping. So here, this here. Okay. 2 whole large eggs. Without the shells, hopefully. Okay. Whoa. Some crack open so easy, and others, I don't know why, don't seem to. Okay, so mix it as I go, because you're doing 1 ingredient at a time, pre-mixing. It'll get mixed again when it's in the bread maker. Okay, the eggs and flour. 2 cups of gold medal flour. Well, it doesn't have to be gold medal. That's what the recipe calls for. I think a lot of people do use that. But a lot of people use King Arthur. Some just use whatever flour they can get. But anyways, 2 cups of flour. Sometimes these little cups are hard to... There we go. 1. And 2. Stir that all up. I know if I stirred up it'd go easier, but I have a difficult time doing it that way. So I have to invent ways I can bake from sitting down per se. Okay, so I'm not worried about how thoroughly it's mixed because I know the bread maker will mix it again. Okay, the next ingredient is going to be cocoa powder, which again, I forgot to do my other cup. My goodness, I guess I'm not with it today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll persevere. Okay, it's 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. I happen to use Hershey's. I don't even know if there's another kind. I've always used this. So let's see here. Where's my measurement on this one for 1/3? There we are. I like this bread because it's the cocoa powder, not chocolate. It doesn't have that extreme chocolatey taste. Of course, if you love chocolate, I suppose it would be nice, but this does a great job. It really comes out normally a really moist, nice chocolate pound cake. Okay, stir that in here. Should have brought my mixer over and just done it in the mixer, but it's heavy to lift and drag around. The bread maker was heavy enough. So and I know you people, when you do it, you won't have as difficult a time doing this as I'm making it look, because I'm a bit handicapped when it comes to this. But I don't like to give up my cooking, so. And then we're going to use baking soda, 3/4 of a teaspoon. Make sure I got the baking soda, yes. Oh sure, I remembered to bring these though, didn't I? Okay, this is a half. And a half of the half is 1/4, I believe. That's the baking soda. So how is everyone today? I'm happy to see you're here today, and I hope you enjoy seeing some. I wish there was a way when we get it all done I could give you a taste, because it's really good. Okay, the next thing is going to be baking powder. Um, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So there's the baking powder, and there's our little friend in the background as usual. I don't know what she does, why she waits till now. She wasn't barking until now. I think she thinks I'm talking to somebody who's outside the door or something. And then, oh, wait a minute, I gotta mix that up a little bit. You can see the batter is getting really kind of stiff, a little bit thick as time is going on here. But it won't be like that. Again, I'm relying on the bread maker to fix some of these things that I can't. But okay, and then salt. Now you can use your iodized salt. What I'm sure that's what this recipe would have meant. I myself use pink Himalayan salt. I use it in my cooking and everything. So it's 1/4 of a cup of this. I mean, a cup of sure, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Have any of you tried the pink Himalayan salt? I like it myself. It's a little, maybe I'm gonna say a little stronger in taste, but I know if you look it up, you're going to see astronomical pricing. But if you look at places like Dollar Tree or, I'm trying to think of some of the others, of that type of store, you'll find it in 1 pound packages. And it's usually only $1. Maybe it's gone up since then, so it might at the most be $2. And then we have vanilla extract, which is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. This is a half, so we're going to make this, whoops, as you can see, I don't make things so exact. I do follow recipes. I'm not the kind of person that figures out a pinch of this, a pinch of that. I've never cooked that way, and I don't think I could cook that way now if I tried. Sometimes I might guess how much a quarter of a teaspoon is or something, but I know there's people out there that cook a lot that can do that, so, and that's great if you can. So you see that the getting quite thick. And now comes the sugar part, white sugar, and that's going to be 1.5 cups of sugar. These are the containers. I've showed you these, I'm pretty sure, in the past. It's been quite a while, but I use those a lot for, whoops, my sugar must be getting a little bit old. Look, let's see if I can crack some of this up. I don't use sugar a lot, so that's probably part of the problem. Okay, so 1.5 cups of sugar. My lighting is bad in here today. This place is sometimes kind of on the dark side. I wish it was a little brighter inside. I have all my windows, curtains drawn back, but on a cloudy day, that doesn't help much. Okay, 1.5 cups of sugar. I'm gonna have to stand up to do this one. It's gotten that thick now. I hope you're going to have a good day today. I'm sure a lot of you are off to work, some are not. What you going to do for the day? You can see what I'm going to do for the day. I'm going to do a little cooking today and maybe a little reading up on a couple subjects I've been wanting to look into. And now, when it comes to the bread maker, This bread maker, I don't know how old it is. It was given to me as a gift way back when. And it still keeps chugging along. I know there's newer ones that are maybe a little smaller, less heavy, but this works just fine. The only thing about this recipe that maybe I would say, if any, that I don't really like about it is the fact that it calls for spraying oil on the inside of this little pan that sets in there. So again, I guess I better stand up here. We're going to spray this in here. I do a light spray, just enough so it's not going to stick. Is basically, I think, what that's for. I spray that in there. And now we're going to put all the ingredients into this pan. And it doesn't really pour in, as you can see. It's a pretty thick dough, I guess you'll call it. So I just kind of scoop it in there little by little till I get this pan full with what I got in my mixing bowl. You that are more mobile-wise than I am, your mobility is better, can probably whip this up in nothing flat. I used to be able to. Where did those golden years go that they promised us in old age? I don't know. Guess I'll have to go watch Golden Pond again today. And I think you seniors out there will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, once you get that all together like that, there is a place on here that says front. So the pan goes like that, snaps right in. Sure it does. Supposed to. And I know it does, but my goodness, what was that? When you see these things, you realize I'm doing it in real time here. Okay, I flip that over, and then your settings are over here, and let's see if they tell me what setting. I think it's 10, but I'll make sure I'm right. Let's see if I remember correctly. Yep, 10. You select your number 10 on top. I don't have it plugged in right now, but I'm going to. And I will plug it in, hit that spot for number 10, and come back when it's done and show you the finished product. Well, here I am, back again with our made bread. But I have to tell you, I think I probably jinxed myself in the beginning of the video. You remember I said my bread maker was an old bread maker, but still working great and everything. And then I also believe I mentioned to you earlier that you probably could make this bread in a loaf pan in the oven. I had never tried it, but thought possibility was there. Well, while I'm making plans, life has changed. The bread maker broke. It's not working. And that happened during the processing of the mix. So I said, how am I going to save this disaster from becoming a disaster, actually? So I decided, I've been saying I wanted to try it. So I got out a loaf pan, put my mix in there. It's still a little, really quite warm. Probably too warm to take out, but I'm going to try. And cooked it in the oven. To me, it looks like just as good as it would have been if it came out of the bread maker. But let's see what happens. I don't know if I can take this whole thing out yet or not, because like I said, it's still kind of on the warm side, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can do that. I'm gonna just try to loosen it a little and hope that it comes out. If it doesn't want to come out, I'm gonna cut a piece out of it while it's in there so that you can at least see the finished product, and I'm gonna taste it, see if it made any difference at all. I'm gonna see if I can get this to fall out right here on this piece of tin foil. It looks just fine to me. Now let's hope it is. Oh, it's too warm to take out. What a shame. Well, that was just a disaster. This whole thing has been a disaster, I guess we'll say. Oh dear. I don't know what to say. I'm not even sure if I'm going to post this video, because it's just been seems like it's been one disaster after another. I don't know why. And there goes Mojo. You all know Mojo, don't you? By now, anyways. She's the one that's always got to put her 2 cents worth in. Maybe she's trying to tell me, no, don't take it out. It was too warm to take out, but I so wanted you to be able to see this. And I want to taste it to see if there's been any big difference. I'm just going to cut a slice. You can see it there. It's very moist, this bread, so they call it a sweet bread, crisp on the outside. Let me just take a little bite here. I wish I could offer you some. Here you go. Enjoy. Let's see. Absolutely delicious. So, it wasn't a total waste. Now you know. You can take those ingredients I showed you, put them into your loaf pan, and cook them in there. Did I say cook them or cook them in there? And you'll have yourself a nice loaf of chocolate pound bread. I've given this to people before as little gifts or something, and everybody loves it. So I hope you'll give it a try. Don't be put off by my disaster today. Just goes to show you life happens when you least expect it. But anyway. anyway, so that's our cooking for today. I don't know what else to say about this. I'm disappointed, but I hope you at least got the recipe out of that and will try it yourself. It's a good recipe, it really is. Had I not had a breakdown of the bread maker, things would have gone so much smoother. And so, I don't know, I thought, I guess it's time to buy a new one, but now that I've cooked it right in the oven like any other bread, I'm thinking maybe I don't need a bread maker, and maybe nobody else does. I wonder if any of you with a bread maker have ever tried your recipes actually in the stove, or oven I should say, rather than the bread maker. Maybe we don't need to spend all that money on these bigger gadgets. And I can't say I didn't get my money's worth out of it, because like I told you, I've had it a long time, and it's always been good. So I don't know, I guess I jinxed myself by mentioning that earlier. So I hope you have a good rest of the day. Don't know what you've got planned, but I'm going to clean up here and let this cool off, and maybe wrap it up. I may even freeze some, or it'll taste good with either a cup of coffee or even a cup of tea. It would taste good. And for all you chocolate lovers, I'm sure you'll love it without the excess, how do I say that, chocolate taste. Having the Hershey's cocoa seems, I don't know, it's sweet enough. It's a sweet bread, that's for sure, but it's not the same as eating a piece of chocolate, so I would say. Anyways, I want to thank you all for joining me for the disaster today, and hopefully next video will not turn out to be a disaster like this. I thank you for joining us again, and I thank you if you stuck through to the end of this. I thank you very much for doing so. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button at the end of the video. It helps the channel a lot, which helps me want to produce more disasters. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, have a great day. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. Be kind as well. Bye-bye now.